Welcome and thank you for joining me. This is the seventh session on resumes, and this is the one about actually writing the resume. A lot of you think that this is the most important. Some of you may have skipped all of the lectures before this and jumped to this one. I understand that. That's probably what I would do under the similar circumstances. I can't overemphasize the importance of tactics and strategy, and that is what those previous lectures are about. The difference between a good resume and a bad resume is your ability to anticipate needs and your ability to write clearly. This lecture is about how to write that resume. It's not an easy task. It's actually one of the hardest things you'll do. The best writers can seem totally inept when they start writing about themselves. I never met anyone who could even buy a resume that was effective, and that's one of the problems. No one else can tell your story. You have to tell it. So what I've got in this is a process on how you can take your past experience and break it down into its parts, generalize it so you can apply it to something different if that's what you need to do, but also how you need to tell what you did in a way that works for you. I'll be explaining that you need to be able to put the words, you need to speak about what you did in terms of facts, not in the subjective analysis of yourself. If you haven't heard me say this before, I'll say it now, that when you praise yourself, you raise the credibility question. Are you the best witness, the best person to tell us about where you're good or bad? Most people listening to you are not going to believe that you are that. So the best thing for you to do is to provide facts. If you provide the facts, they will put those facts together and make an assessment that they believe. They believe your facts. You tell them you did something, they're going to assume, they're not even going to question the facts. But if you make a statement about yourself, you say you're passionate, you say that you're a self-starter, you tell everybody that you're honest to a fault, you're raising the question, is he? But if you say that you've worked with the cash for the last 7 years and that the cash was always coming out even, there's never been a question of shortage, then the conclusion they're going to draw is that you're honest, you're reliable. You want to say you're a self-starter, don't say you're a self-starter. Say that you arrived before everyone else, you set up workstations, you opened the doors at 7 to let the others in, and you showed them what they needed to do for the day. Then they can conclude that you are, from that, a self-starter. Along with this lecture, which is very short, I think, I'm going to provide content for you, a process flow for how to take your past experience and express it for this job. And if you have experience that is radically different from what you're seeking, I'm going to show you how to take that experience from the past and convert it so that it means something to your prospective employer. If you have no experience, my advice for you is to get experience. So you can start your resume, but you need to have experience. You can't get a job without it because people don't hire knowledge, they hire applied knowledge. They hire proof that you can do what they need done, which is experience. So you can't get a job, get a volunteer situation. You can't get a job, find something to do for someone on a freelance basis. Do it well, make it narrow and specific scope, make it well, and use them as a reference for yourself. But there are ways to build your resume. Now, first time you create your resume, using the advice that I give you, do not expect it to be good. Don't try to make it perfect. Simply try to make an iteration of your resume. Then I'm going to suggest that you submit it to the community, get feedback, take that feedback, and revise your resume. Then submit it again. Take more feedback, revise your resume. Every time you try to work for perfection, what's going to happen is you're not going to get anything done at all. And it won't be perfect either. So don't try. Try to do it better each time. Now I'm going to give you a set of criteria for you to evaluate your own material. And that should help. But it also will help the debate. So if somebody says something's not good, then this is a measure that you'll be able to use and use for a debate. So there's nothing wrong with defending against, your approach to a resume. You should do that. Besides, any of us who are told what we do is wrong and we don't yet believe it's wrong, we're not liable to change our behavior until somebody convinces us. So you might have to argue, say what you see, and ask them to attack that. So you're open to understanding where you need to change your ideas, but you need somebody to convince you. So that's what we hope to have happen here. Resumes you shouldn't expect yourself to make the first resume effective. And you shouldn't start your resume when you're beginning to look for work. You should start your resume long before. Okay, of course, if it's too late for that advice, that's all right. You got to start somewhere. Thank you.